Okay, so I'm scheduling Copperfield. I've scheduled 3 matches of Boys 12s A already, and here's Boys 12s B. So I click the schedule multiple matches tool at the top, scheduling these for 8 a.m. And it scheduled those first 3 matches. So then I have 6 courts scheduled. I have 6 available. My next draw to schedule is girls 16s. And again, I'm just doing the first round right now. So again, I'll click schedule multiple matches, and I have 6 open courts. So I only have 4 to play here, so they'll all play at 8 a.m. So I still have 2 open courts. Oh, I still have a couple there. Nice. So, yep, you can see the first 4 are scheduled, ready to be scheduled. So I'm going to schedule these 2. And that takes up all my 8 a.m. matches. Right there. So then I'm going to take a look at my Garmin generator. The next time is 8:40, and I have 3 matches to schedule. And the next draw I have in line is Boys 14s A. So let's go to Boys 14s A. Schedule multiple matches. 3, day 1, 8:40. And it should have scheduled the top 3 for 8:40. 1, 2, 3, perfect. My next time frame is 3 at 9. So we'll schedule multiple matches. You can see the top 3 have already been scheduled, ready to be scheduled. 1, 2, 3, 9 a.m. Alright, going back to the generator. 9:20 is my next time. And I have 3, so I only have 1 match to schedule here, so I only have 3 more to schedule my next draw. Or sorry, 2 more. 2 more to schedule my next draw. My next draw is Boys 14s B at this site. So I have 2 920s to put on. I'm going to go ahead and do those. 1, 2, 920. It is important you select day 1 of tournament here, or else none of your matches get scheduled, because the default is day 0. So then I go back to the Garmin generator. Looks to be 3 at 9:40. So I can see what's scheduled. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. And then I have 4 at 10. So I'm going to schedule my next 4 matches. I only have 2 here. So I have 2 more to schedule at 10. And so once I still have girls 14. So this is a pretty big site, and it might actually be too big. But we'll go ahead and try to schedule it, and we'll see. Normally, if your first step is to fill out the schedule planning document, and that'll help determine if you have enough courts at your site to make this work. Since I'm fixing a draw for a tournament director, I'm fixing a site, and I already had all these draws here. I'm going to try to squeeze it all into one site, but it's going to be tight, so we'll see. So I have 2 more matches to schedule at 10. So I'm going to schedule my first rounders. 10 a.m., day 1. Looking at the generator, I have 3 at 10:20. 1, 2, 3 at 10:20. Alright, and then looking at the generator again, 3 at 10:40. And one more time, we have 3 at 11. 1, 2. So we'll still have 1 more to schedule in my next draw. My next draw is Boys 12s A. Alright, and we've already scheduled the first round matches, so we're on to the next round. So we'll start with the players that got buys, because we want them to lose and get to the consolation. So, and I already forgot how many I scheduled, so let me go back to my girls 14s draw. I scheduled 2 at 11, so I have 1 more. match to schedule at 11. I'm just going to click on it since it's just one instead of the schedule multiple matches function. Okay, so I got my 11, my next time frame. Oh, pop up sports ads here. All right. 3 at 11:20. So you gotta make sure you click around in 16. 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2. Actually, I'm gonna click cancel. I want to make sure. Okay, so yeah, like here I'll schedule this match at 11:20, this match 11:20, but I'm not gonna schedule this match 11:20 because both of these players have already played. The loser doesn't have to go to consolation. I'll then skip down and schedule the ones that had players that got by so that they can lose earlier. So I'll schedule 3 for 11:20 here. 1, 2, and then I'm going to skip to the bottom so that those players that both got buys, we can get them playing so we can get a loser out of there. And then I'll have 4 at 11:40. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to finish up my matches here. Here they are. Boom, 11:40. So once you've done, and I'm looking at, well, in my book, I'm looking at the 2018 manual. It's 8-3, but it's the first off scheduling portion. So once I've done my draw A second round, I'm going to do my draw A early first round consolation. So those are the players that lose here. These first early losers. We only have 3 early losers, so we're only going to have 1 match to schedule in consolation. So I'm going to go to consolation. The third kid that loses and comes off will then have a bye and is going to be waiting for one of these other matches to produce a loser so they can play. So I'm only scheduling an early consolation. It's only going to be 1 round. It's the early round. This draw has already been misscheduled. So I'm going to correct it. And let me see what I just scheduled. It's easy to forget what times you just scheduled. So I finished 4 at 11:40, so I have 3 at 12 noon. So I'm going to go ahead and schedule those. And I'm only going to schedule this top match because I'm only going to have 3 losers and only 2 of them fill in and actually have a match for 12. So 12. And then I have 2 more matches to schedule at my 12 p.m. slot. I'm just going to make a blank draw here. Well, no, I'll hold off on that. I'll just correct times. I was trying to clear all the times real quick. Let's see if there's a way I can do that. There you go. That's what cleared it. And I'm going to do the second round too, just so it makes it clear for me. Just putting it on day 0, it clears the times. Okay. So I still have 3 matches scheduled at noon. And it's just going to be this top one because remember I only have 3 losers. And that third loser is going to be going in at the bottom here, but they have to wait for another loser to come in. So that's my early first round consolation there. So then I move on to draw B second round. My draw B is boys 12s B. And I have 2 more matches I can schedule at noon. So let's see here. This is round of 16, day 1, 12, noon. Perfect. My next time slot is 3 at 12:20. So again, I'm going to make sure I play the ones that got buys first. So I'll do that next match, and then I'll start at the bottom. 1. You can see it on here, the players that got through. These are players that had to play in to get those spots. So you want to make sure the people that got buys are playing before people that have already played a match so that they can lose and get out of there. Boom, boom. This is going to be 12-20. And then I have 3 for 12-40. All right, and just 3 left, so that's perfect. 1, 2, 3, 12-40. Okay, and then that's this entire draw scheduled. Well, first 2 rounds, it is. And so then I have my 1 o'clocks. My 1 o'clocks, I have 3 at 1. And so after I finish the second round of Boys 12s B here, I got to do the early consolation first round. And again, we just have 3 losers, so I'm only going to schedule 1 early consolation. It's going to be for 1 p.m. And we already have misscheduled matches here, so I'm just going to clear these. Okay, so I'm going to schedule 1 for 1 p.m. Make sure you put day 1 there, or else you won't actually get anything scheduled. So I had 1 p.m., so I have 2 more matches. Looks like I can schedule for 1 p.m. That's my early consolation. That's my only one. So then I'll move on to draw C, second round. My draw C is my girls 16s. So I have 2 more 1 p.m. matches to schedule, and I'm going to girls 16s. And then I have 4 for 120 right here. One, two, 3. And another player up here got a bye. So I want to see if those people will lose so they can get to the consolation earlier so I don't have to wait on them. So I schedule 4 for 120. And then looking at the generator, I have 3 for 140. Whoopsie. There's only 2 matches to be scheduled here, and this is for 140. So I have 1 more match to schedule for 140. Okay, so now I do the early consolation. Looking at the early consolation players, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 early losers. So I'm gonna have 3 early consolation. 1 is gonna be for 140. So let's go to girls 16s cons. All right. I'm just gonna clear some of these times here. Okay, so schedule. I need 3 matches, 3 early matches. And I already forgot what time slot I just... You can always go back and check, but I forgot what time slot I just scheduled. So I scheduled 2 for 140. Garmin calls for 3 at 140, so I have 1 more match. Girls 16s cons. And this is going to be for 140 p.m. Oops, I forgot to click check. All right, and then I have 3 for 2 p.m. So I'm going to schedule my next 2 matches for 2 p.m. And so this is where you need to look at the feed in order. It's 8-7 in my 2018 manual. It's also in your 2019 manual. But the third and fourth players feed into these bottom lines here. So you'll check here the schedule for 2 p.m. And then the fifth and sixth players will feed into this slot right here. Your sixth match code, which is lines 11 and 12 right here. And we're only scheduling 3 early cons. So I have that one, and I have that one. Perfect. These times out here, you can ignore these. These are misscheduled times that we'll adjust later. But we have my early consolation scheduled for girls 16s. So now I'll move on to boys 14s A. And I still have one more time slot at 2. Yep. All right, let's see. So schedule this for 2. And then I have 3 at 2:20. So 1, 2, and since one of the players already got buys, we'll go back to the top. So this is for 2:20. And then I have 2:40. I have 3. One, 2, 3, because this player got a buy. This is for 2:40. And then my last match will be at 3 here. All right. So I got that scheduled. This is boys 14s A, and so then I need to do the boys 14s A consolation, early consolation. So I count how many losers I got in the early first round. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Starting at the bottom. I have 7 early losers. So that's 3 early matches. Early cons matches. I have 1 at 3. So how many do I need? 3. I have 4 matches I can schedule at 3. So I can schedule all 3 of these for 3 p.m. So I'll go to boys 14s A. The spots they feed in are here, the bottom, and then there. Again, looking at the feed in order in my first off section. And the time I have these scheduled for is 3 p.m. Very nice, and I'm actually going to clear the others slots just to make sure it's clear. So I scheduled that one. Don't need this, don't need this. For now, those are the late consolation matches. Okay, so I have my 3 p.m.s. Whoa. Scheduled 3 p.m.s. My next time slot is 3:20. I have 3, and I've done the early consolation in the boys 14s A. I gotta go to boys 14s B. And I'm scheduling for 3:20. So 1, 2, 3, 3:20 p.m. Okay, and then my next time is 3:40 here, 3 matches. Again, grab the players that got a bye. Want to get them to lose early. If they do lose, so that they can feed in the consolation. You can get those matches going. And then my next time slot is 4. I have 3 matches then. have 2 to schedule. So I have 1 more match to schedule at 4 p.m. Okay, so now I'm going to do my early cons. Looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losers. So again, 3 early consolation matches. I have 1 more match to schedule at 4, so let's go to the cons. Schedule this top one for 4. And then my Garmin calls for 3 matches at 420. I only have 2 left to schedule. And remember, they're going to be lines 15 and 16s, line 11 and 12. That's for 420. And then I'm going to clear the other times just to make it easier for me. So I can see where, make sure my feed in order is correct. So 1, 2 go there. Second and third, or third and fourth losers go there. Fifth and sixth losers go there. The 7th loser is going to go up on line 5. So they'll go right here. And they're waiting for someone to fill in on line 6, one of those people that got buys in the first round, waiting for one of them to lose. And they'll play a late consolation match there. So once I've gotten my 420 scheduled, I have 1 more 420 to schedule according to Garmin here, because I can fit 3 at that time slot. I'm in boys 14s B. And so my next draw is girls 14s. I need to go do those second rounds. So let's go see. All right, let's schedule these. And I already forgot. I think I was at 420. Let me check. Yes, I have 1 more 420 to schedule. And it's great to have stuff written down on the side, kind of so you can see, you know, what order you can keep your order in the exact same, so that you know which round you're scheduling. All right, so this is 420. And then I have 4 for 440. One, 2, 3, and then we'll just start at the top 4. $440, and then I have 5 o'clock. I have 3 matches. So we'll schedule these last 3. I actually messed that up. I need to schedule those last 3 for 5. So, whoops. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 5. Nice. All right. So after my 5. I have 3 for 520. Again, I gotta find the early losers. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 early losers. So I have 5 matches I need to play. So 520. So I'm gonna schedule the first 3 for 520. And then I'm going to clear out the rest, just makes it easier for me. I mean, on yours, when you make a blank draw, those won't be there. So so we have the 3 at 520. 540, you have 3. So, and again, I only have 2 more early consolations. So I look at where those players will feed in. It'll be lines 5 and 6. And then lines 7 and 8 here. So boom, boom. And And then I have one more match I can schedule at 5:40. And I've done all my girls 14s early consolation. So at this point, you'll see in your first off document, if you flip back to the pages, it says if you plan to play second round consolation on Saturday, prioritize late first round consolation over main draw quarters. However, we don't have the room for that right now. This is actually a very crowded site. It's going to get off late at night. If I was looking at this tournament and judging it from a draw standpoint, I'd probably think you should get more courts or another site, just because it looks like you might not have filled out your schedule planning correctly. You've tried to schedule too many matches here at this site. And that's one of the reasons we do want the schedule planning document filled out, is so that you can kind of forecast what allocation you need for your courts. Regardless, we'll move forward, see how late this will go. I mean, who knows? We might have to push some matches to Sunday. That's okay. So 5:40, we have one more 5:40 match to schedule. And we'll start with the draw A quarters. So that's boys 12s. Okay, let's see. Boys 12s A. I have one more 5:40. And then I have 3 at 6. So then I'm going to go to draw B quarters. So that's my boys 12s B. And I have 4 to schedule at 6:20, so I can schedule all these quarterfinals at 6:20. Very nice. And then my next draw is girls 16s. I have 3 at 6:40. Let's see. And then I'm going to schedule this last one for 7. I mean, we're getting late into the night, so... and again, this is an overscheduled site. So what I'll do is I'll schedule this one for 7. I have 3 at 7:20. So I still have boys 14s A, boys 14s B, and girls 14s. That's 12 matches. And so I have 2 more here. That's 5. That's 8. So that would mean to put on all the quarters, they'd be being put on at 8, and then I have my late consolation still to schedule, which is a lot. That means this is going to go pretty late into the night, which I don't like matches going on that late. So assuming this TD could not get more courts because they did not schedule correctly or anything like that, we're going to go ahead and waive the boys 14s A and B main draws until Sunday, which isn't ideal, but that's what we have to do here. But anyways, that's kind of the basics of the early consolation. Let's just say we waive the boys 14s A, boys 14s B quarters. Say they all are going to play Sunday. We'll go ahead and schedule normally. Let's see how late it comes out. So we'll see how late it comes out. Let's just try it. Girls 16s. And if need be, we'll just go back and reschedule the whole thing. It's happened before. It'll happen again. And that's okay. 7. So boys 14's A. I have 2 more matches I can schedule here. Uh-oh. Whoops. Went to 740. I skipped 720. Let me make sure. What did I do in girls 16s? What was my last time? Last time was 7. So boys 14s A should have 2 7s and then 2 720s. Yeah, so that's 720. Let's try that. All right, so I have 1 more match I can schedule at 720. I move on to my next draw, boys 14s B. And then I have 3 at 740. Very nice. Then my last draw is girls 14s B. Or just girls 14, sorry. And all those main draws can go on at 8 because I can have, or the quarters main draws, because I can have 4 matches at 8. So that's what I'll do. Okay, so then we move on to the late consolation. So that's boys 12's A. And it's these players that are playing I got buys. So we've officially gone too late. This site is too big. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the girls 14s, I think, and then just reschedule the whole thing. But that's pretty much how you schedule the draws. I'll do one quickly of the late consolation, or how you schedule a site. I'll do one more quickly of the late consolation and what it would look like if this was proper times. But draw 8 late first round consolation. So I filled out all my 8 o'clocks, so I need to go to 8:20. So the late consolation matches, let's see how many I have in boys 12 singles. First off, when you're preparing to draw, you probably already have buys in there, but let's count how many possible losers we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that means I need 6 buys in the consolation. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in there. And those buys are going to go into the places where they feed in last. So like lines 3 and 4, that's where the last 2 players feed in. Assign player, buy. Again, I'm just looking in first off consolation section where these buys go. 13th and 14th players fill in the lines 13th and 14th. Again, I need 6 buys because I have 10 possible losers. And then I go to the 11 and 12 spot where the 11th and 12th losers fill in. Those are on lines 9 and 10. And then I can start scheduling my late consolation matches. So the next feed-in spot would be here. That would be 8:20. 8:20. We have buys already inputted, so it's not going to confuse me. And I can schedule, let's see how many can go for 8:20. It says 3, but something to always be aware of is what you have in the main draw. So it says we can only schedule 3 matches, but you always want to look for the maybe matches. So like say right here, if Eric Yang beats the winner of this player, Eric Yang's no longer going to feed the consolation. So that's one less late consolation you might have. You just don't know because Yang could lose. In other draws where you have just one player getting a bye and the other 2 have to play into that match, if you have multiple of those, you can schedule more matches than what Garmin suggests. So say if I had a couple players like this, I could... sorry, phone's going off. But if I had a couple players like this, I could then overschedule my late consolation a little bit. So that's one thing you could do. But we can't do it here because we only have one player that's coming in. So I gotta schedule the rest of the cons. I believe it was for 8:20. Yep, 8:20. So I'll schedule multiple matches. Let's see. And I want to do it in the proper feed in order. So that's here. Then here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is right here. Lines 5 and 6. So this is for 8:20. And then I need my 8:40s. Again, this is really late. I would not accept this as good for a tournament. 8:40 will go here. And that's the late consolation schedule. So then there's missed times out here, but Sunday schedule you can follow first off. It's pretty simple. After I did that, I would then move on to boys 12s B consolation, then girls 16s, boys 14s, boys 14s B, and then girls 14s again. And obviously if I did all of that, this site would be here pretty late at night. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have to reschedule taking out one of these events, go back to my schedule planning thing, make sure that it looks all correct before I then reschedule my sites. But that's kind of how you do it. This is how you would prepare the first off and scheduling. Yeah, thanks for watching.